Good afternoon, everybody. What up, Neil Stewart? About time. We haven't been on here much recently. Market's just been kind of sitting down here at 8,000, so just been watching. As everybody knows, kind of long, getting stopped out, trying to stay long. I think we're making a major low, but trying to also manage risk. So we're going to talk about a few things today. Let's wait a minute, get a few more people in here. Get this thing started. What up, Pity the Fool? We got the chart up there right now. A little bit of action down there. But I'm going to show a couple bearish alternatives in case we don't rally here strong enough. $38 in here. What up, Joseph? There's a 15-minute zooming in a little bit. I had said I'd be a buyer with 81.25 was taken out, which was this high here. So we did add on there. We added down here 7,900 to 7,940 after we made these lows. What up, Gary? Long time no see. Let's go back to 4 hour to look at this recent trading range we've had. Down here at the bottom. There's where we've been struggling down here, 7,800 on the lows. This got deeper than I wanted. This one really got deeper as well, but lows not taken out, so interesting. But since we're so deep, I'm trying to be careful that maybe the lows aren't in for this big wave 2 that we've been looking for. I'm guessing everybody in here pretty well knows what I've been calling for, so. I mean, there's the chart since the 14,000 high. Everybody knows that we've been looking for, on the Elliott wave, a 1-2. I do want to say I own Wyckoff Stock Market Institute. I've gotten some grief from some people because I throw Elliott wave on some of my charts. Everybody knows that I'm 95% Wyckoff, but I do on the cryptos, I throw some Elliott wave on it because I think there's a lot of unknowledgeable people and traders, so I think it helps. You really won't see me throw Elliott wave on any stock charts, but you will see it on some crypto. But it's not my deciding factor. It's just something to help me with the duration of rallies and declines, etc. But I do think this is a 1. I think the 2 may be already ended. That's what we've been calling for. We had 5 waves up. You can see kind of a correction ABC down. It did get deep, but we could be in a 1-2. This has been my preferred count. So we're in the middle of the wave 3 up to, let's say, 10,000 or something. So, but I do want to give you a different count here. Because first of all, we've kind of been calling this an ABC down A, and then a big sideways B, then another 5 waves down for a C. Possibly we might be looking more at this, which is an ABC down for an A or an X, sideways triangle for a B or a Y. And then we need, this was an ABC down in the purple, so we could be looking at another ABC down from the end of this B wave triangle. So that would be A, we had down here to the 7,700 level. We're working on that B. So it could be a triangle, it could be a flat. And then we still come down one more time to maybe scare everybody, let's say below 7,000. Again, that's not been my preferred count. But at these lows at 77.62 and probably 78, what, 20, 78.25 or so, if those lows get revisited, then I'm afraid we're doing a B-wave triangle here, or we're going to go still higher for a B-wave. So I think the thing to do is we just got to trail stops and see if this thing can turn into my preferred count, which is a ride at 10,000. Because if not, you can see what would end up happening. And this is all going to be based on what my technometer does. But it would look something, if it's a triangle B wave, it's just going to look something like this. So maybe today we've already done the A, we're going to mouse around at 82, 8,300, then rally up to 8,500, and my indicators will deteriorate and maybe tell us that the rally could be ending there. And then I would be looking at this B wave triangle. Or if we have some volume come in, again, we could run above 8,800, getting 8,900, 9,000, 9,100, get everybody excited, and then still come down one more time. So those are the bearish alternatives if this doesn't play out. Which again means the 1-2 is already over. We've had a 1-2 off the low. And then we're just getting started on this big wave 3 up. But I think we'll know that. I mean, again, we don't want these lows to give away here. But I would expect, since our technometer is so friendly, we're going to get something up here, sideways or higher. And then we'll just watch it. If you want really up-to-date ideas, you got to join the Discord. Patreon.com. I'm going to give you the link to that here if you don't know it. Patreon.com/learncrypto. $40 a month. We got about 630 people, I think, over there. Nick gives a lot of short-term trades, a lot of alt trades. I'm mostly in the big caps. So check that out. Then let's go back to the software that's really is what usually keeps us out of trouble. Let's go to Bitcoin USD. What's aimbot? So there's Bitcoin USD. You can see technometers down here at I think we did like a 35.53, I believe it was, one day when I posted on Discord. So those were buy levels. You can see the OP, which is volume, was hitting new lows while price was holding and oversold. Those are the buy signals that we like. And then that's what's giving us the rally today. But again, these lows at 7,900, 78.20, 77.60, really those lows should hold now if we're headed higher. So we're going to trail stops at those areas. And we really need volume to come in here. Today is going to be a decent green bar, you can see here. Bigger than what we've had. So maybe this again is the start of something. 808 crypto, the tech is at 42.84. Again, after being 35. So we're bullish. We just need to see more movement to the upside. And volume to come in. Bitcoin USDT. Technometer really didn't get below 41, but now we're at 43.82. And then we've got, let's show Ethereum USD. This has been one of our favorite longs. Again, down here, it did register about a 39 intraday, I think it was. We're at 43.82. Keying off this 169 level or so. We have a stop just a little bit lower than that without giving away our stops. And Litecoin USD. And also the Ethereum had the same thing. Let's go back to Ethereum USD. You've got the OP going to new lows, even into this morning's low. So continued selling on Ethereum USD, why price held this low, and this low. So that's bullish action with a pretty almost oversold technometer. That's why we like Ethereum. Litecoin USD, not quite as friendly, but I think we'll still follow. You can see new lows in the OP, same thing. And price almost touched the lows, but a little weaker. We've had an oversold technometer. I think we had a 36 and change at the lows. We're at 42, so still okay on Litecoin. I guess, and everyone, you know, I was stopped out of Litecoin, what, at 53, bought it back. Stopped out at 56, I believe, bought it back 55 and change. Stopped out at 53, bought it back at 53 and change. Really just mousing around, trying to stay long because I'm so bullish longer term. I still think we're making major lows. And again, I just showed a bearish count that if this thing peters out over the next few days, we got to be worried about one more sell-off. But that's not my main, that's not what I'm calling for yet. Again, you can count this as 5 waves up off this low. A lot of overlapping on the way back down. Volume goes to new lows below these lows, while price holds these lows. So again, that's why we're getting the rally today. But that means we don't want to give these lows back up then, or that means that we're just not that strong. So we need continued impulse movement right here, right now, to keep this thing looking good. We're just sitting here at 82.25, so we have held today's rally thus far. Let's bring that back. Let's go to Binance. And there's today's rally off the 78.70 level. Decent volume coming in here. We just need this thing to hold and continue higher. An 83.50 print would be good for the bulls. Steve and I'm definitely more cautious, only because I'm always cautious. Because if our trades work out, our stops are in, we don't have to worry about that. We got to worry about what goes wrong. So I'm still worried, yes, about what goes wrong. I thought we'd rally out here a little bit quicker, so that's why I'm worried about a different count. But for right now, the technometer kept us in here. Anybody knows in the Discord, I did have a sell on the technometer around 8,500. Didn't take it because I was kind of shying away from short-term indicators. I thought we was making a major low. Looking back, I should have just liquidated 8,500, but I probably would have put it back on at 8,200. There's no way I would have held down to 7,900 or so. You'd like to say that, but it wouldn't have happened. Neil, I don't think I'm usually not that worried about daily, weekly closes in the cryptos. I mean, a weekly close up here definitely would be good. $808 wants to know, hold on a second, 808, let me give you a wrench. I've seen there's some people talking about a Wyckoff distribution top. Maybe if we would have had enough thrust after distribution, I would have been more on that. Following volume, I don't think they're correct on that. Again, I mean, if they're correct, this rally is going to fail, and then we're going to take out 7,700. So I guess I'll trade it as we go. It's also, this is basically the rally from 31.20. So they're going to call all this, they didn't probably call the accumulation, so they missed the whole rally, but now they want to call distribution so they can get some Bitcoin back, I believe, that they didn't buy on the way up. Yeah, it's easily, this is a pretty good rally on good volume. You can see the volume here off these lows. Good volume, volume. And then since then, volume has really slowed up. That's not really distribution. We have had some volatility up here, but as we move sideways, volume came off. This is a healthy correction of the rally from 31.20 to 14,000. And for anybody who's been here on YouTube, you got to know we basically called that all the way up perfectly. So I understand what they're talking about on distribution. I think for this market, we just got to trade it shorter term and try to be on the right side before big moves happen. As you can see here, and I showed this on these charts, I mean, we called the top at 13.7. We called one live at 13.1. We sold around 10.5 here on the way to 12. We told people not to buy 12. We did get chopped up in here trying to be long, but we did have a stop at 99.25, I believe it was. Said we was going to go down to 8,200. And then we bought the break down to 8,200, 7,800. So we saved ourselves the big decline. Then getting chopped up a little bit down here because, again, I'm trying to be long. So that's why I'm just not willing to trade it as much short term. As you bring up, Reed, if you bring up the alts, let's go back to market dominance. Go to 1 day. There's the 5 wave on the Bitcoin dominance chart that we've been monitoring. We looked for a rally to 72, which we got. I will tell you at the moment I'm leaning that we're doing something like this. I don't think alts are ready at the moment. I personally think we're doing this here. So the 5 wave is subdividing out, and we're getting ready for Bitcoin to flex. So that's why I'm mostly Bitcoin and some Ethereum. And then I think if this is the case, then you would see Bitcoin dominance surge, hurt the alts, and then when this rally here is done, this 5 wave advance, then alts will come alive, and Bitcoin is going to take a back seat. So that's my thoughts. What up, Peter? I haven't really talked about that till just now, but the way this here is looking and overlapping, I think that's the count here. So again, I see Bitcoin flexing a little bit here. XMR, Fred asked about. I mean, this is one also that we thought was holding up pretty well. I said you could own some. It's not done much, but I think I wouldn't be worried about XMR. Reed, I'm going to give you a wrench. I know we've still been, the time before last, or last time we was live, I mentioned about buying BAT down here. Let's go back to 4 hour. BAT was down here, I think, at the 16 cents. We also talked about Ripple. Ripple's been a good one. Ripple was like 24.5. I said to be 50% long down here and buy another break. We did not get that. Now you got to be buying a break to 27.5 maybe if we get it. Also, BNB was one that we mentioned. That one I think looks higher. That was trading down here at the 15.50 level. Link is one that Nick has traded. I'm not long much of that. I think Link will still do well. Adam, Matic, those are still names I think are probably okay here. But again, I'm not trading the alts as much. Nick's been trading them some short term. If you believe on Bitcoin dominance, then I think you still got to say majority Bitcoin. Appreciate it, Fred. So I'm mostly Bitcoin, Ethereum, a little bit of Litecoin. The thing we're going to be watching still is this chart here. We really want to see volume expand. We're setting down here. We need this to expand on the lower right. And we need the technometer to not get too quickly overbought. I'll show that chart here again in a minute. Let me bring up we're going to talk about stocks here for a minute because I think we could get interesting over there. This is our Wyckoff wave. You can see the OP's been trending down here, went to a new low compared to this low, while price is still holding. We're coming down to an oversold technometer like we had here. If you bring up SPY, Standard & Poor's Spider, ETF, same thing, not oversold, but OP coming down to new lows, so I think you're having a lot of selling. If you check on my Twitter, I think it's Wyckoff on Stocks Twitter, put option buying was at a huge level Friday at the close. So if we break the new highs, I think on the S&P, there's going to be some buying coming in. So I'm watching that early in the week. Here's a QQQ, which was at 48. So again, I think there's still more downside early this week. And then I want to watch GDX, if you're in my pro traders at wyckoffsmi.com at 40 a month, or if you're in our Discord where I also give the same trades most of the time. We gave a sell on GDX up here at 29.49, I think the number was. Was looking for this level here to break solidly. We got that Tuesday, but then we once again rallied back. But the technometers went from major oversold to 46. So I'm still short this market, looking for something lower. TLT, we're at 40.45. I'd be a buyer of this, probably on a little bit further break too. And then we mentioned UUP, the dollar. We didn't get short that, we did mention it. We thought this was an up thrust and a test, and now we pretty well had a sign of weakness, I would say. So a rally back, 50% maybe, 26.75 or so, could be a sell. Crypto for the common man, NIO will not be in my, I don't have any lower price ones. So NIO is not in my database. I could add that when I get off. I can't give you any updates right now. WW is the Wyckoff wave that the Institute has used really since early 1900s. So we've got in the Wyckoff wave, let's see if I've got them. We got Boeing, Bank of America, Bristol Myers, Caterpillar, IBM, GE, Ford, Telephone, Union Pacific, Walmart, Dow. Bigger names. We also, you can see that I also have a Wyckoff wave new. We got a Wyckoff tape reading. Different ones that I follow. Some of them are a little more NASDAQ-y. Let's talk about AT&T because that's been a nice winner for us. I've given that to everybody. We had a buy back down here at 34 and change. Friday we had the breakout rally we've been looking for, 38.47. We got a 45 technometer. So now we turned this into a pretty good trade. So we're staying long that. We're staying short GDX and look to buy some stocks. Anybody interested in stocks, we might be starting a Discord for just stocks, going a little more in depth. Because the Discord for crypto has been really good, a good group of people there, so we might try that. So back to Bitcoin. Five-minute chart. Hopefully this 81.30 level or so level could hold. That's where I added on. And we continue this rally, get above 83.50. And then again, we'll watch. We'll watch for maybe a bearish alternative. This is kind of the close-up on that I've mentioned. some more of a triangle out here, or maybe a flat, and then one more sell-off. Again, not my preferred count, but one we got to be worried about. That's why we'll trail stops off of this rally today. See if we can keep it moving. Yeah, I work about 24/7. ETC we'll throw up real quick here. Glenn. Again, some of these I think later on we'll get a good rally. I mean, this looks pretty well, somewhat like the Bitcoin chart, so I wouldn't be worried being long this, but again, I'd probably trail some stops on your trading bag. If you're hodling, I mean, stay long these things. I think we're still going a lot higher. Again, I guess I'm still thinking that Bitcoin dominates here. I know overnight digital fidelity group, something like that it's called. I think it's on our blog now, that they're starting to allow more institutions, family offices, advisors into the crypto space. That's bullish. BAT is bullish. We get that taken care of. A lot of bullish things here that can get these markets rolling. Let me check something here real quick. I did see on our blog that Kerry keeps updated. I will show you a couple little things here. I thought the royal family acquiring a stake in a crypto price index, kind of like a S&P 500 index, I think that's kind of neat. I think that's good for the space. You've got a crypto portfolio here that we might want to watch that's going to try to gauge Twitter more. I know a lot of firms have tried to do that. Some Bitcoin ETFs. I know that they added T-bills and they added some Coinbase to their proposal, so I think at some point one of those are going to get okay. So you can look at those articles if you choose. Bitcoin USDT. I showed that briefly. Hold on a second. I got 8 screens and about 100 windows open here. I mean, there's Bitcoin USDT. Again, I said we had the 41 on the technometer, so we didn't get down to the 38 level that we'd like to see. But you have had the OP continuing to hit new lows while price holds. Normally that says selling is overdone, we need a rally. That's what today is. But if the rally's good, these lows should hold. So trail stops, see if we can keep this rally alive. So we went over some stocks, we went over the cryptos, software, so that's all I got for you. Be careful on the stock market. We could be getting a major low maybe here soon to buy some things. We do have a Pro Traders where we give stock ideas. We also give a buy on Bitcoin at 79.20, I think it was, over on the Pro Traders side. The Pro Traders at wyckoffsmi.com, we just give stock ideas and Bitcoin. And their emails, there's no Discord, there's no chat. If you don't like that, if you just want an email. If you want the Discord, go to patreon.com/learncrypto. $40 a month there. And if you want, we'll manage your stock portfolio or your crypto portfolio in a private client group. So if you don't have time. So 82.10. Shanta, you must be in the Discord, so I'm going to add you as a moderator. What up, Kelly? I mentioned that not everybody was long. You could buy an ABC pullback. I think probably this is A down. We're doing a B here. So I'd say anything down to 81.50, probably down that level. I'd probably say you could still buy if you haven't bought enough and you think the low is in, and then just trail a stop off of these lows. I'm not going to give a lot of stops on here on YouTube because I don't want people looking at our stop levels. Carrie just said she added the blog. Let's see if it's on here. I think this is interesting. Fidelity makes it easy for no coiners to invest in crypto. That's a big article, I think. So pay attention. Going to make it way easier for stock investors to get in this market. If they come, they're going to knock this thing higher quickly. I think a lot of the Bitcoin's been taken off the market by institutions and hodlers. So I think at some point here, whether it's now on this rally to 10 grand or whether we're going to mouse around here and still try one more downside move, at some point here I think we're going to come alive and we're going to have that rally like we had off of 31.20. We're going to have to toot our own horns still because on the rally from 31.20, you can see here we had, I think, about 12 buys, 14 buys all the way up. Really didn't have any Wyckoff sells until 13.5. And at 13.5, I said a couple hundred higher, and we'd have our overbought sell. We caught the whole rally, sold the top. I'm hoping on this rally we can do the same thing. The reason we had all these buy signals is because sell volume kept coming in while price held. That's the same thing that just happened. I just showed that. OP going to new lows while price holds. So hopefully we'll continue that here and have more buys on the way up. Keep this thing going higher. What up, Moonshine? I mean, we manage money in the private client group, which you can click. You can click the tab at learncrypto.io. It's just these markets are 24 hours a day, so if you don't want to get woke up at 2 in the morning, moving a stop, whatever, a lot of times it's easier to let me do it. We're managing hundreds of accounts, but we've got it down pretty well here. So we are managing millions of dollars in stocks and cryptos, so we don't just talk it, we do it. And that's it. Litecoin 55. On Litecoin, let's look at that real quick. I really didn't go over any details. Well, we need this 50.25 level to hold, and also this is like 51 and or 50-50 here. We need these levels to hold. We need to see strength here. Same thing on Ethereum. That's one that we've really liked. I think we completed a 1-2 off the lows. So if this count is right, if you do any Elliott wave, ABC, X, ABC, double zigzag, after the 5 waves off the low. So again, that would be really bullish. You've done a 1-2 and then a intermediate 1-2, so we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm major bullish, but stops have got to hold, or we'll try the downside again, and then we'll start the big rally. So that's my thoughts. Let me run my disclaimer real quick before I sign off, please.
There is a high degree of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
I appreciate it. I am a registered investment advisor on my own the last 23 years, I guess it is. So I think my camera might be locked now. But I'm out of here, so good luck. And we'll try to be live on here this week if we get some action. Later.